This is the news on Honor 103.5 FM. Honor FM News. Accurate, transparent, undiluted. We go big. We bring you the news behind the news. Honor FM News. If it's new, then it's news.
Welcome to the World News at Noon on Ono 103.5 FM. I am Timitakwe Dada. In the news this afternoon, Senate dismisses petition against Akpabio over sexual harassment. On the African news, South Sudan opposition arrests raised concerns over peace agreement. On the foreign scene, President Trump issues ultimatum to Hamas over hostage crisis. And in business, Nigerian Port Authority port pass requirements sparks controversy. In entertainment, money can't buy health. Nigerian musician Tenny reviews amid health struggle. And finally, on the sport news, Newcastle, Aston Villa interested in signing Nigerian international Lookman. Welcome once again to the news. Now the news in detail. The Nigerian Senate has dismissed allegations of sexual harassment against its president, Godswill Akpabio, made by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. The Senate Committee on Ethics, Code of Conduct and Public Petitions rejected Natasha's petition, citing a breach of Senate rules. The committee chairman, Senator Neda, described the petition as dead on arrival due to its failure to follow proper procedures. During the plenary session, Akpabio denied the allegations, stating that he never had sexually harassed Natasha or any other woman. The Senate's decision to reject the petition was based on Order 40 of the Senate Standing Orders, which prohibits a senator from presenting a petition signed by themselves. The matter was also deemed sub-judicial, as it is already before a court of law. Also in the news this afternoon, the Rivers State House of Assembly has directed Governor Fubara to present fresh nominees for confirmation as commissioners and board members within 48 hours. This comes after the governor was accused of making illegal appointments without required screening and confirmation. The lawmakers also summoned the chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, Justice Enabeli, to explain why he conducted the last council election that was voided by the Supreme Court. Justice Enabeli has fixed August 9 for a fresh local government election, citing the Supreme Court judgment that nullified the October 5 poll. Meanwhile, the state government has responded to an earlier ultimatum from the House, stating it had not received the letter containing the summons. And in the news coming from Oyo State, the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has emphasized the capacity of African countries to ensure food sufficiency globally, beyond meeting local needs. Speaking at a high-level panel discussion at the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture in Ibadan, Makinde noted that Africa's population of 1.5 billion is comparable to that of India and China. He shared his administration's experiences in implementing successful agribusiness initiatives in Oyo State, highlighting the focus on agribusiness as a key driver of the state's economy. He emphasized the use of technology, innovations, and data to drive agriculture. His remarks came during a presidential visit program in honor of Sierra Leone's president, Dr. Julius Maada Bio. And on the African news this afternoon, security forces in South Sudan have arrested 2 senior opposition members, sparking concerns about the stability of the country's peace deal. Minister of Petroleum, Port Kanko, and General Gabriel, both allies of Vice President Riek Machar, were taken into custody without explanation. This move has raised fears that the peace deal, which ended the country's civil war, may be under threat. The arrests have been met with uncertainty as the government has given no reasons for its actions. Both Cole and Lam are allies of Vice President Maka, a rival of President Salva Kiir. The peace deal signed in 2018 aimed to end year of civil war and unify a professional national army. The international community is, however, watching the situation closely. Moving on to the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump has threatened for the destruction of Gaza if all remaining hostages are not released immediately. In a stern warning, Trump told Hamas leaders to flee Gaza while they still can. He also made clear that there would be repercussions for Gaza as a whole if hostages are not released. Trump's comments came after meeting with freed hostages and fellow Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's warning of severe consequences if Hamas does not hand over the remaining hostages. The situation in Gaza remains dire, with the humanitarian situation described as catastrophic by France, Britain, and Germany. Still on the foreign scene, the U.S. Department of Education, established in 1979 under former President Jimmy Carter, is facing potential significant changes under Trump's second administration. While the department cannot be abolished without Congress passing an act with 60 votes in favor in the Senate, it could see widespread cuts to programs and employees, severely impacting its functionality. There have been efforts to dismantle the department, with a bill introduced in the House of Representatives in February 2023, aiming to abolish the Department of Education and transfer its administrative responsibilities to the Department of the Treasury. And on the foreign news this afternoon, on the business report, members of the National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders have expressed concerns over the mandatory port pass requirement recently announced by the Nigerian Ports Authority. The stakeholders argue that the identity card issued by the Council for the regulation of freight forwarding in Nigeria should be sufficient for port access. The NPA has issued a notice stating that the port pass is the only legitimate for port access, citing security implications and the International Ship and Port Facility Security Code Level 1 enforcement. However, officials claim that the current regulatory framework does not adequately distinguish between legitimate freight forwarders and unqualified individuals. And moving on to the entertainment story, Nigerian popular musician Teniola Akpata, professionally called Tenny, has stated that money can't buy her good health despite her millionaire status. Tenny, in an Instagram post, shared a video of herself on a hospital bed receiving medical attention after being diagnosed with malaria. Sharing the clip, the singer said she was diagnosed with malaria 2 weeks ago. Tenny has addressed the mosquito problem in the Ikate area of Lagos State. The malaria scourge has amounted to several deaths in Africa, with calls for measures to roll back malaria and possibility of vaccination. And finally, on the sport news this afternoon, Aston Villa and Newcastle United are reportedly interested in signing Nigerian international Ademola Lookman in the summer transfer window. Lookman, who currently plays for Atalanta, is said to be considering a return to the Premier League. Newcastle scouts have already been dispatched to Italy to assess Lookman, signaling serious interest in him. Lookman's versatility is a major attraction for Newcastle, as he can operate across multiple attacking positions. The transfer speculation comes after a public disagreement between Lookman and Atalanta manager Gianpero, following the club's Champions League exit. Multiple Premier League clubs, including Tottenham and Liverpool, are also reportedly interested in signing him. all for now on the World News at noon on Honor 103.5 FM. Before we go, here is a recap of the major stories. On the national news this afternoon, we informed you that the Senate has dismissed the petition against Akpabio over sexual harassment. Also, the state governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has advocated for African food security. On the African news, South Sudan opposition arrests have raised concerns over the peace agreement. While on the foreign scene, President Trump has issued an ultimatum to Hamas over hostage crisis. In entertainment, Tenny has revealed that money can buy health amid a health struggle. And in sport news, Newcastle Aston Villa are interested in signing Nigerian international Lookman. For Eyewitness Report, news mentions and news commercials, contact the Honor FM newsroom at 0915-103-5555 or 0704-800-1035. You can also check out our website at www.honorfm1035